This is Tower of Time, and I am your warlord Mal. We'll be going through Tower of Time, which is a pretty fun role-playing game with a great combat system with its pause and slow time features. I like it because you can craft a lot of your own items and really get what you want out of the playstyle amongst the, I think, 7 or 8 different unique characters in this game. Let's dig right in. Playing on normal, we'll play on the harder difficulties later on. And now the intro.
Our land is dying, and we are dying with it. This was not always the case. Artara was once a place of wonder and beauty. The 5 races thrived in peace and harmony. Then, long ago, something happened. A cataclysm of unimaginable proportions. Something so disastrous, we don't even have a name for it. For when it destroyed our civilization, it took with it all knowledge of history. The past is now lost to us. Our future is uncertain. We are left trapped in a bleak and dismal present. The land itself is our enemy now. The weather extreme and unpredictable. Droughts persist for several weeks, followed by floods that wash everything away. Yet our gravest problem is the lack of sunlight. Storm clouds shroud our world in everlasting twilight. Without the sun, we are unable to grow food, and so we struggle to survive this dark world, a seemingly hopeless battle. I look back now to when I was a young boy, living on the fringe of the human domain. While hunting for food, I stumbled upon ruins uncovered by a recent earthquake. A bad omen, normally avoided. But this time, something drew me in.
All right. The entire morning passed without the sign of a single rabbit. Rarely was hunting so bad in the woods surrounding your village. It felt as if something unnatural lingered in the air, a frightening thought that sent a shiver down your spine as you slowed your pace and gazed through the trees to a scene of total devastation. The forest laid before you sundered, littered with jagged rocks and vast chasms. The aftermath of the earthquake 3 days past. Pushing back the impulse to flee home, you moved closer. The adults tell stories of the world regurgitating treasures from long ago. Just a look, you convinced yourself, your curiosity shortly rewarded by the sight of a large fissure, emitting a dazzling blue light. Against your better judgment, you squeezed through the gap, leaving behind the world you've always known. What is this place? It looks like a different world. Perhaps I should turn back. The elders are very strict about all that old stuff. If you come across anything strange, it belongs to the old times. Don't touch it, don't press any buttons, don't take any crystals. Come back and tell an adult immediately. Ah, they're scared of their own shadows. It can't hurt to look around. So we're going to play as this little kid, this shit kid, for a moment. They did this to build up the game. So, you know, this sort of stuff normally turns me off in any game when they have this sort of exposition, but it's okay, because everything does kind of build up and make sense and is organic. So, as you approach the statue, its eyes flicker with life and it speaks. Welcome to the sanctum of the First Magus. Please state your business. I just want to look around. The First Magus awaits you, Ambassador Chunstable, representative of the king under the mountain. Woohoo? No, wait a second. I'm just a boy from the village. I was just taking a look around. Then there was the Sanctum Guardians have been alerted. They will escort you to the administrative captain. Please do not be alarmed. Maybe I'll just go back the way I came. Please stay where you are and do not be alarmed. The Sanctum Guardians will escort you to the administrative captain. Resistance is not advised. And it's the Monopoly man holding a clock. You wait apprehensively for a moment, but nothing happens. I guess no one's going to escort me to the administrative captain. So let's take a look around. Below you lies a large throne lined with immense luminescent crystals. As you peer over the edge and focus your attention on one of the larger blue crystals, a faint voice calls out. Fear is the gatekeeper that turns back the masses. Have courage, your destiny beckons. Who are you? What is this place? Come to me, the time is nigh. A powerful desire to leap off the edge of this precipice to the throne far below washes over you. Sweat breaks across your brow as you force yourself back, step by step. The voice vanishes, but the irresistible urge to reach the throne remains. You look around for a safe way down. And I'm getting vertigo just from looking down there. Tower of Time always promotes this huge sense of a massive construction. And that's one feeling I really do appreciate. Just the true depth of engineering something like this must have taken to build. It's a big structure. Look at those assholes down there plotting my demise. Think a little boy with a torch can beat them all? Let's find out. Hey man, am I late to the golem party? You guys got some shit growing out of your chest?
Look, a boy approaches. Another human after all this time, but a mere child. He doesn't have the skill to survive this place. And yet he has come this far. Perhaps he is ready.
Ready for what?
This is all premature. He must develop the power, or else others will manipulate him. Yes, I sense it now. Are you capable, boy? Do you know magic?
Magic? No, of course not. I'm just a hunter.
A hunter? But of what, I wonder? Tell us, do you always know where you aim to bow, even with your eyes shut? Enough, leave him be. He doesn't understand. Besides, he poses no threat, yet. Yes, let him pass. Let him see for himself. Very well. Go ahead, boy. Embrace your fate.
Well, I guess we won that encounter with the torches and the golems. Tons of bookshelves. Rows upon rows of dust-covered books. You must tell the village elders about it. Perhaps they will not be mad at you then. Guys, I came back with some toilet paper. First Magus, Adris, held office between 113 and 114. Only 1 year. 152 to 202 of the 5th era. Well, Hellenia had a better success. And here's the throne. A boy? You are still a child, and yet you heard my call. How can this be? Tell me! I'm just a boy. I don't know. Please let me go. I'm scared. I just want to go home. Yes, I can sense your fear, but this fear does not rule your heart. There is something else. You are different, as I once was so long ago. You are inexperienced, your ability undeveloped, but there is no mistake. Such dormant, feral, raw power. An undisputable match. I don't understand. There is much to explain, and where I have the will, I do not possess the time. Grow weaker by the moment. It took all my strength to raise the tower again, and I must rest now. In time, you will forget this place. You will grow strong and skillful and find a position in your world. For this, before I release you, I must entrust in you an insatiable desire to return. I feel strange. What are you doing to me? For some day, many days from now, you will return to this tower, seek me in its depths, and on that day, when my power is recovered, we will talk again. Please let me go. Forgive me, boy. You will come to understand, I promise. The memory of this meeting will vanish from your mind once you leave this place, but you will return, as surely as a seedling reaches for the sun. Go now. Run! This place is not safe for a child, even for you. Learn thyself. Give thyself to the world as I have. Return when you are ready.
Descending the stairs led me to a crystal throne which glittered with swirling light. I felt strangely compelled to approach and sit. As I took my place upon it, a sudden torrent of light enveloped me. The illumination overwhelmed my senses. I grew nauseous and weak, but before I lost consciousness, the throne ejected me to the floor. I fled and told no one what happened, for fear of being deemed tainted and banished from the village, for this was the way of my people. I tried to forget the experience, to convince myself it was my overactive imagination. But the visions that followed said otherwise. Every night, the nightmares came. Their torment highlighted my confusion, as each morning I remembered little, fragmented images, words which made no sense, nothing more. I would have thought myself mad, if not for the strange, incomprehensible symbols I often drew in the sand. Proof that forces beyond my understanding were at work. People in my vicinity kept their distance, and I think they feared me. Over time, they learned to tolerate my unusual nature, but I was always alone, left to brood and ponder my strange fate. One winter, it all came flooding back to me. I realized the crystal throne sat not at the bottom of some ancient ruins, but at the top of a construction incomprehensible in scale. That the ruins were not ruins of some lost city or ancient castle, but a single massive tower buried deep within the earth, and buried upside down. Some unexplainable force had lifted the construction into the sky, rotated it, and driven it into the ground. In that moment of clarity, I knew one thing above all others. I had to go back to that place, for the power within was the one thing that could save Artara. Years later, I found myself a commander in the last human kingdom's militia. The king, a just man and good friend, granted me a favor for my years of loyal service. I had but one request: a small force of men and resources to return to the village of my birth and explore the tower. Preoccupied by an eroding empire, the king held little interest in ancient ruins and towers. He did, however, see the reclaiming of a long-abandoned village on the border of an ever-shrinking kingdom as a boost to the people's morale. He gave me what I requested, and his blessing. So here I am, returning to the very place which has haunted me my entire life. It is a desolate place now. Time has not been kind to my village. Most of it has rotted or been washed away. Yet the tower remains just as I remember it. I am in awe of the power within, and perhaps fearful. The men and I are setting up the camp in the village, while Cain and Maev, two of my most capable warriors, will scout the tower. Once again, I feel its call. We must uncover its secrets. We must find a way to reach the power within. If we fail, it will be the end of us.
So, the intro to this game, a little long, but it does set up the premise pretty well. It does provide enough mystery, but also enough information for you to be grounded. I appreciate that. At long last, just as I remember. It's impressive. I've never seen anything like this, such green, healthy-looking plants. Whether by natural or enchanted means, something about the soil here produces abundant life. The key to our salvation. Whoever returns with the secret will be the king of all Artara, or queen. Is this the secret we came for, my lord? New crops? I don't think so. No, there must be something else here. Where there is one secret, there may be others. The potential here could be limitless. If you seek to uncover the secrets of this place, then we will do so. Maeve and I will scout the area before you proceed. No need for unnecessary risks. While you appreciate it, your concern is unwarranted, my old friend. After all, I survived this place as a child. But you're no longer a child, my lord. You're our commander, and we swore an oath to protect you. There may be outlaws or raiders lurking. Ha! Scoundrels are of no concern. I'm well aware my lord is a skilled fighter, but this is a matter of regulation and duty, Kay. I shouldn't have to remind you of that. A commander's primary task is to command. Ours is to obey, and in this instance, assure his welfare. Maeve is right, of course. We cannot afford to lose you to some unforeseen danger or long-forgotten trap. Allow us to clear the way and provide safe passage. At your discretion, old friend, but be careful. I recall unease about this place. Strange mechanisms and statues of stone and metal, and something about the crystals. This game's soundtrack, by the way, I've increased the volume as much as I can without, disrupting anything, but it is fantastic. It is difficult to recall. The more I try to remember, the less clear it becomes, as if some will beyond my own works against me. I will return to the village now. Call for me once the way is clear. As you command, my lord. Normally, I would allow the lady to go first, but duty calls for the strongest arm and the keenest combat sense to lead. Get behind me, and stay close, fair maiden. Fair maiden, I'm sure that pisses her off. This is going to be a long journey. Did you already forget what happened last time you kept calling me that? Alright, so I go off into the distance. These guys will now be our adventurers. So tell me more about my lord. You've known him far longer than I. Well, for one, he wasn't highborn. He earned the king's respect and his position through service and skill. I had been in the king's guard just over 5 years when he joined. A formidable fighter and quick learner, he showed immediate potential. But he often had this odd, distant look in his eyes. So odd. To tell you the truth, it spooked most of the other men. And what of this tower? Does he truly seek a way to heal the land, or are we on a fool's errand? When you have spilled blood with a man on the battlefield, you know his mettle, Maeve. I don't know what awaits us here, but I can tell you one thing. Whatever he is seeking in this place, he believes it will help us all, and that's good enough for me. And there we go. So, we have a little mini-map down here that kind of gives us some hints. There's a lot of clicking to be done, but it's all pretty useful, and all the information you get around the maps and the little icons and everything else usually adds up to some fun stuff in the game. It's pleasantly organic. This broken statue is made of a smooth glass-like stone, the likes of which you have never seen before. Next to it, there is a wooden sign with an inscription. Here at the fringe of the great northern forest, wise travelers seek the boon of Rathchoke. Whisper to her the name of your dearest, and gain the grace of the willow and strength of the oak. What's the matter, Kane? Don't think it'll work if you whisper your own name? It looks like a rather naive superstition. Besides, we have no time to waste conversing with a lump of rock. Let's go. Sheesh. Lighten up, shield guard. I was just joking. So there are definitely gods and spirits at work in this place. We'll meet a lot of them. Is it tab? Alright, so yeah, we'll collect gold. Gold's useful for upgrading our buildings, crafting items, as we'll see later on. You'll definitely want to explore most of the places in this game. But again, the place is pretty beautiful. Oh, there's great spirits. What is this? This water is so clear you can see straight through it. It tastes sweet, too. The merchants back in the city would pay a week's wages for a pitcher of this. Look below. Have you ever seen fruit trees like that? If a merchant would pay a week's wage for a pitcher of that water, they'd give half their wealth for one of these things. Careful, eating strange fruit can have unexpected consequences. You didn't have any second thoughts about drinking the water here. Take a bite, they're amazing. I'll take your word for it, Eve. At least one of us will be clear-headed if they turn out to be poisonous. Little frog. I don't know why there's gold litter all over the place. Alright, guys. Well, this is the intro of the game, like I was saying. The real adventure awaits us. Thank you for your patience if you've actually been able to endure the whole intro. I know myself, I would have trouble sitting through it all, but I think the story is compelling enough to get you through. And we have our first battle waiting just ahead. I'll see you then.